that's part of what I'm doing is I'm putting together a webinar. It's going to be a free webinar, and it will be very educational to people once it's all completed. The reason it's not quite done yet is because as I was developing all of this, I was doing little focus groups out there, and this is a great tip for other people in business, is even if it's just with your friends where you do some focus groups, learned things that I needed to change and adapt before I really make it more widespread. And one of those things was um, approaching consumerism, really. It's the power of advertising and your health, is what that segment I'm calling that now. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding another element in that will help people understand all of this a little better. And also, my whole program was designed to make it easy because, there are many people out there in the health industry, the natural health industry, that are what I would call a purist. They follow to the T, to the letter. I'm not one of those people. I love sweets, so I'm going to eat my sweets from time to time. And I think a lot of people are like that. So I took that into consideration in developing this program as well, that I didn't want to make people feel like they had to do everything perfectly. That little steps can have big changes and
Oh,
have big
that's so
results in your
true.
life.
That's so true, but you make another point here, and that is I was reading some of your writings, and you said the average age of puberty for girls in the U.S. was 16 to 17. I think when I got my period, I think I was young. I was about 13, maybe 12 even. But you said that the mean age now is age 12. You also said that by the year 2024, that 1 out of 2 people will have cancer. I mean, those are kind of startling statistics. And as a 3-time breast cancer survivor, I was amazed by some of these issues. And I'm wondering how much of what I've eaten, even though I tried to eat it clean, contributed to what I had. However, what are we to do? I mean, in simple, easy language, Deb, what are we supposed to do? What can we do?
Well, one I will tell you is this. I will be launching this webinar on July 5th. And I would really recommend watching that first because I'm going to go in depth about what these toxins are, exactly what they are doing, and what your alternatives will be. And it's going to be things like I will tell you, for instance, we talked about BPA, and that really, it's a hormone disrupting chemical. Well, now most people are very aware of BPA and they're even trying to avoid it. And now we're buying plastic that says BPA free. But what they're finding out is the plastic they're replacing it with is either just as bad or maybe even worse. So what do you want to do? Glass. Well, people think, oh, I can't carry glass around. There are great alternatives for glass bottles that are mobile. Or you could use stainless steel. And that's just one of the many things. But that's what I did over the years is slowly change these things in my household. And I'd like to give you, for instance, another little statistic. There are studies that are showing that we are living longer. There's no doubt about it. But we're more disease ridden than we've ever been. And we're not looking at the things. I think people got so caught up in the fact of cigarette smoke causes cancer. And we don't really look at that there are a whole host of other things in our environment that also do cause cancer. And they're saying that these are things are going to surpass cancer being caused by cigarettes because more and more people are not smoking any longer. And I actually even have one study here that says which is worse, which causes cancer more quickly, cigarettes, diet soda, or GMOs. And basically, the article concludes with that if you're doing all three, you have a triple whammy. So people that don't smoke actually have a double whammy because they're probably ingesting GMOs, and most likely most people are drinking diet soda because they think it's healthier. But the chemicals that they use in diet sodas are not good for us. They're
You know,
just so
it is mind-boggling because it's almost like, when they say eat more fish and then they find the mercury in the fish and then eat more of this, and then one study comes out and says this is good for you and the next study comes out and says it isn't good for you. There's so much conflicting information out there that it's difficult, but I want to make sure that our listeners know how to get on your webinar and how to reach you. So how would they get on your webinar? Where would they go?
Okay, right now, there was a glitch with my website because I was going to have everyone go there, but they can make note of it. That's being worked on, and there, what I'm going to do is this program for any of your listeners that are interested in it. I'm offering a very special one-time offer for your listeners, and I'm going to give them half off. And my program comes with 100% guarantee. So if they don't feel that it's been beneficial to them, I will refund their money with no questions asked. I truly will. That's how much I believe in what I'm doing. But they can reach me if they will send me an email. What I'll do is I will put them on the list, and all I need in the email is their name. If they would provide, of course, I'll have their email address and their phone number. I will touch base with them within 2 days of receiving their email just to confirm that. There's no investment yet. I'll just put them on the list. When I launch, they will be eligible for that 50% discount. And it's just a one-time for your listeners that I'll be doing this. So my website and email are both the same in the beginning. The email is healthy start, the number 2 day. So it's HEALTHY start, and then the number 2, and then day, at fastmail.com.
And okay, so email healthy start, number 2, day at fastmail.com is your email address.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And then website is just Healthy Start Today, spelled the same way as in the email address.
Fantastic.
And it's .com. Healthy Start Today.
So, I really believe that there are a lot of people out there who would like to practice holistic health and who would like to do the right thing. If someone is thinking about going into this kind of business, Deb, is there anything you think they should be aware of?
Well, yeah, I will tell you there are a couple of very important things to be aware of. We have to be very careful about the language we use because of the laws in our country. And we can't tell someone that we're going to heal them or cure something. Only doctors are allowed to do that. So mostly we would talk about just helping you live a healthier lifestyle. So that's very important. The other thing that I will tell you is where you were saying, talking about how confusing it can be because one study says this and another study says that. I'm going to really address this in the webinar, and it's going to shock people, but why you see conflicting studies is because some of these big corporations will come out with, they'll pay for studies themselves that will conflict with the other study to confuse you because they want you to buy their products.
Well, I agree with that. I totally agree with that, Deb. We're coming to the end of the show, and what I really want to say is I know Deb personally. I know how passionate she is about this. I know that she has really got your interest at heart. This is a love for her. It's a passion for her. And I would strongly suggest letting her know that you're interested in this webinar. Again, her email is healthystart, the number 2 day, at fastmail.com. So, it's been a joy to have you with us today, Deb. I really appreciate you sharing all of this with us because it's certainly necessary. And I hope that your your webinar is a smash success because I think it's well needed. So I really want to thank you for being with us today. And people who are listening to this, make sure you head over there because it's well worth it. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Gail. I can't tell you how grateful I am for you having me on the show today. And I would like to tell your listeners also, if they do have any questions about this business, I'm happy to help because, I believe in that philosophy that if you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. So if anyone has any questions, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help if I can.
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you, Dr. Gail.